Welcome to Let Them Cook.
We cook out here.
This is a podcast about cooking, for cooking. We're going to cook, we're going to let them cook, and we're going to help you cook.
My name's Steve.
My name's Maddie.
I'm Jimmy.
I'm Jessica.
Welcome.
Welcome. This is our podcast all about cooking. We're going to have a cookbook coming out soon called Let Them Cook, but this is our podcast about cooking. It's about playing with our food. It's about getting creative. It's about elevating the experiences that you already know how to do, and maybe you don't know how to do, and we'll start there too. We're looking at how to help you cook, if that's in your personal life, in your own little kitchen, or to help you reach those dreams of doing it professionally. We're just going to be talking about cooking and having fun along the way.
Food, beverages, anything hospitality related. That's what we're talking about.
We're going to have our chefs with the School of Hospitality, as well as folks from across the Denver metro area talking about the cool things they're doing in hospitality.
What are we doing today?
Today, we got some soup cooking. It is soup season.
Let's go.
So we got some tomato soup with a little lemon preserve. So think your classic tomato soup, and we're elevating it.
We also have a segment later. We have Ethan Sy in here from Method Muse. He's going to talk about gin, sipping on gin and juice, and other things. And
that's what we got. That's what we got.
Let's throw it over to Jimmy and Jess. What you got, guys?
All right, so we are going to talk about the cookbook in general, and this is kind of like the launch of our podcast, Let Them Cook, as Maddie said, really to kind of hype up our cookbook that's going to be coming out for the Day of Giving. That's going to be on March 19th. The full 76-page cookbook, full color, spiral bound, or maybe hardcover, will be available then. And we're just going to kind of explore some of the recipes that are in it for the next couple of months as we work up to that launch. Our first one today, though, is a tomato soup with a preserved lemon. And this is actually our old friend of ours. You may remember him from some of our other podcast episodes or previous podcasts. Jason Rice. This is one of his recipes. And he was just kind of messing around with it and wanted to just kind of elevate a tomato soup. And I think adding that extra citrus, but not just citrus, a preserved lemon. So that extra, using that as the salt base and the citrus really just like brighten it up. And I still remember the first day that he made it, and everybody in the office was just, and I think it was actually for President Davidson's luncheon maybe 4 years ago. And we did a grilled cheese and tomato soup, which everybody thought was like, oh, that's kind of boring. But then everybody walked out of that saying it was the best soup they've ever had.
Nice.
And so, yeah, so we have some of the ingredients here. What are your thoughts on tomato soup?
It's a comfort. It's a classic. I think it's a really accessible soup for everyone at home. Everybody goes for it whenever they're feeling a little under the weather or they just want something to eat. So it's nice to find something that kind of elevates it and brightens it up. Coming back to Metro as an alumni and seeing that we're doing accessible cooking and putting out a cookbook's really exciting. So I'm excited to see what else we can cook up, what we can make with different things. This tomato soup is definitely a great example of the creativity here at Metro, and I'm excited for it.
Shout out to Jason, one of the goats. R.I.P.
So let's just run through the ingredients. We're not going to be making the recipe today. We're just going to run through the ingredients, the base of a tomato soup, and then we'll do a little tasting. And then when we get into the next segment, we may actually have a little bit of fun experimenting with some of the gins that are coming up. So the basis of the soup is a standard mirepoix, right?
Right.
Which is?
You got your celery, you got your onions, you got your carrots. We doubled down with the onion, and the recipe calls for leeks, but sometimes those aren't always in season, so you can always use some green onions or scallions in your kitchen.
Mm-hmm. And even using ramps would be really good too when they're in season.
Very nice.
And just, you can mix and match anything. The basis of carrots and celery and onions though, and then adding either those leeks or scallions and just kind of playing with it too. Shallots too, if you got shallots, that's good in there. And that's kind of the whole point of this cookbook is like, here's the basis of the recipe. But we'll talk about it on the podcast on little things that you can change on those. And then we finished that soup with the preserved lemon, which gets pureed completely, right?
Right.
And so you get that whole rind, a little bit of that bitterness with the sourness, and then the salt in there. And then we finish it with the cream. Just kind of smooths everything out.
Yeah.
And the basil too.
Lots of
Forgot about the
basil, right?
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's a delicious soup.
Do we have focaccia as well? Or are we?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But we could next time around. That
Pairs well with focaccia.
What else? What else would you pair this soup with?
Definitely a focaccia. We were playing with the idea it'd be a really great gazpacho as well.
Ooh, cold soup.
Serve it during the
actually,
summer.
like this just chilled would be delicious.
I love it.
Like a smoothie.
It does pair well with our focaccia that's in our cookbook. This is just a little sample that we have leading up to the launch in March. So at different events, we've been taking this out with different recipes that we're serving. And the focaccia's in there too.
And the preserved lemon.
And the preserved lemon.
Could you do like a focaccia grilled cheese?
Is that crazy? Is that
Yeah.
blasphemous?
No, that's not crazy. That is actually delicious. And I would highly suggest it. Yes.
Okay.
What kind of
Um,
cheese would you put on there?
Oh,
Do like a Gruyere. Some
we getting
provolone.
fancy. We're elevating the grilled cheese.
Gruyere or even brie.
Ooh.
I mean,
Ooh.
whatever cheese, like
Whatever cheese you
grilled
got.
cheese should not be limited to like one type of cheese. There's so many different types of cheeses, so many different flavor profiles you can play with. So whatever your favorite cheese is, stuff it in some bread and grill it, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
Think outside the cheese.
Yeah. Grill it, griddle it, butter, olive oil, whatever oil you like. And as long as you get it's all about the crunch though. Like a grilled cheese, a soggy grilled cheese is just a sandwich. It's just a cheese.
It's just a
sandwich.
sad sandwich.
Period.
A good grill, like a true grilled cheese, like crusty bread. And even if you're using sliced bread, just getting that nice little golden toast on the griddle.
Definitely.
Like one of my favorite scenes in a movie is that movie Chef with John Favreau.
John, yeah.
John
Yeah.
Favreau.
And he's just like in there, just like with his grilled cheese and just like moving it around to make sure it's all even and everything. So yeah, make sure you get your grilled cheese nice and crunchy.
Get it toasty.
What would you say the most emotional moment you've had with soup is?
Oh, wow.
Emotional moment with soup. Interesting.
That's a good question.
No, you got one?
I mean, I took over Thanksgiving when I was 13, and mainly because I wanted to make this butternut squash soup recipe, and it's just turned into this family tradition, and it gets additional ingredients every year. One year I made my own sausage to put into it, and so it's just become my legacy in one little soup cup.
Wow. Soup traditions.
That's great.
So
Yeah.
good.
I gotta throw it in the cookbook.
Yeah.
There we go.
Second
Yeah.
edition.
So good.
Yeah, second edition. So we do intend to hopefully keep this going annually and have a new edition every year. So, but for me, an emotional time with soup, I wouldn't say emotional, but the most comforting soup
Yeah, tell me.
is my chicken and dumpling soup.
Ooh.
And it's actually I cheat. I buy biscuits, I cut them up, and I just put them in there. But when I'm feeling sick, or even when my family's feeling sick, I can put this together in less than 30 minutes, and it makes everybody just feel comfortable
Yeah.
and happy and cozy.
Period.
That's
Yeah.
the best too when you're sick,
Yeah.
not having to put
Yeah.
in tons of effort. You're like, I just want something to make me feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, let them cook. You can make something so good, so comforting in just 30 minutes. You don't need
Yeah.
anything crazy.
For this soup, so you have preserved lemon. Can you
Yeah.
use other citrus like orange, or what's
Lime.
the reason behind the lemon?
What? I don't know about lime. Lime would be. It could be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it starts to change the whole kind of flavor profile and what you're going for. But you could. I mean, if you were to go lime and add a little cilantro instead of basil.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Go with kind of that kind of
That's
flair with it.
fun.
With orange, actually, I mean, you know what would be really good? A burnt orange.
Oh yeah, grill it off first.
Yeah, char it.
Yeah.
You get those sugars just kind of caramelized and going, and then, if you did a charred orange preserve, like a preserved charred orange,
Yes.
and then put that in the soup.
I'd be down for that.
Ooh.
That sounds delightful.
So you get
And then maybe some
creative.
thyme, rosemary.
Can't go wrong with those. Maybe the rosemary. Rosemary and orange are always like best friends.
Yeah, rosemary. Ooh, okay.
New recipe.
We're gonna have to. Yeah, that'll be in the next edition of the cookbook.
I would
Could you-
definitely-
Sorry, could you add like dark chocolate to that orange
Oh,
situation? Because
that's
like chocolate and
easy.
orange.
With the tomato.
With tomato.
I would go for it, and you can have like a mole based.
I was gonna
soup.
say we're
It'd
getting
be
into
so
a
good.
mole almost.
Yeah, we've done that before with my other program, and we've done like a soup based mole, and it was
Okay.
so
Ooh.
good.
I like
I
that.
didn't even
super
think
rich.
about that. Let her
Like-
cook.
Okay, now we got variations of our tomato soup. So
There we go.
next we have to just redo every single recipe in this book for the next edition.
Exactly. Or like, let us know in the comments what ideas you guys have.
Yes, you got.
At what
Alright.
point does a soup, like a tomato soup, become a Bloody Mary?
Oh, wow. Fun question.
When do you put booze in it?
Your head.
Could you?
I mean, and not hot. I guess a hot Bloody Mary. That sounds gross.
That sounds
I don't
like
know about
a bad day.
that. Yeah.
It's like a
yeah.
gazpacho, just
But
a virgin
honestly,
Bloody
You
Mary.
could take this soup, put it over ice, cold, and maybe put a little vodka, a little
Yeah.
gin, or
Gin and
tequila.
juice.
Yeah, I'm a michelada girl myself,
Yeah.
so some
Yeah.
chamoy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'll be ready for
Mm.
it.
Could you? So if you do that, could you just like have a bowl of your soup and then have like your little meats around there, like?
That's true. Like garnish your soup like you'd garnish those loaded Bloody Marys. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Put like a whole
That's a
rotisserie
full
chicken
meal.
on it.
There's a
Ooh,
lot.
maybe that's a new trend. Is tomato
Gazpachos.
soup with all the accoutrement, like
love
with just
it.
that tall tomatoes. Like
The
There's more
candied
space.
bacon.
it's like a $20 tomato soup.
Let him cook. We're getting creative.
I like it. I bet it'll sell.
Oh yeah,
Oh, we should do a tomato soup bar for one of our buffets.
that'd be
That's
fun.
fun.
And like
Yeah,
have little
yeah.
toppings that you could put on,
That's
like start with
fun.
your tomato base, and then like have all these different things, different grilled cheeses, little finger sandwiches.
That's so true.
You can do this
Yes.
at home too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
have some friends
Instead
over.
of charcuterie boards, let's start a tomato soup.
A
bar.
soup soiree.
Yes. Soup soiree. Yes,
Like there's baked potato bars, we could do tomato soup bar.
I'm for it.
Slay. You guys have anything else on
As long as
this?
there's a bar.
Period.
Which segues gorgeously
Yeah.
into.
Right? Speaking of bars,
We got our next segment. We have Katie and Ethan coming on in here soon. Can't wait for you to see Katie's costume.
yeah,
Pretty great.
I had to refrain from laughing.
Yeah, keep it together.
Welcome back to Sippin' on Gin and Soup. Now we're going to talk about gin and things.
Yeah, today we have Ethan Sy with Method Muse and our very own Katie Strain to kind of talk about some of the beverage industry, what we got going on, cooking with different flavors or mixing with different flavors, and some of the new products that Ethan's got coming out. So yeah, we'll kick it over to you guys.
Hi, everybody. So a couple exciting things, and one of them is happening today. The Breckenridge Brewery is releasing their Women in Beer fall release, which is a pumpkin porter. And we made a custom pumpkin spice blend for the beer. There's some canned pumpkin in it. And the cool thing about this beer is that proceeds from each can sold actually come back to our students and support a professional development fund for hospitality majors at MSU Denver. So very cool. We will be there later today, right? Like we're gonna go at around 2:00, but I think 3 to 5 is the official release. And then that beer will be kind of for sale until it sells out. So come check it out. And if you do, you're supporting our students, which is very cool.
So drink
then-
beer and support our students.
Yeah. And then November 11th, is it the 11th, Veterans Day? This one's kind of special and near and dear to our hearts, honestly. One of our alums passed away, sadly, a couple of years ago. His name is Chris Thibodeau. And we have a scholarship that we are releasing in his name that's going to support veterans. And we actually had the chance to recreate one of Chris's original recipes that he created when he was a student here, with Ethan's help and some of the other former, Tivoli staff. we made some of this beer and we're going to release it on November 11th and have a nice little dedication in Chris's name and honor his memory and stuff. So yeah, Ethan, you got to teach Chris and then work with him at Tivoli for a while.
Yeah, he was there while I was the director of the brewery, and I guess the best way to sum it up was working with Peaches was a hoot.
He was the best.
Yeah.
He loved Tivoli. He loved MSU Denver. And,
yeah. I mean, he drank as hard as he worked.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. And that really is like the JP8, the stout that we made. That's a high octane imperial barrel aged stout soaked in Law's whiskey. And yeah, it'll be good. So it'll be a special day.
Drink responsibly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But we brought you here today because we were talking about tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwiches. And I was like, has anybody had the tomato soup at White Chocolate Grill? It's a restaurant down in Lone Tree, but they add a shot of gin to their tomato soup. So you have to be 21 to get it. And it's like, so good. And then, of course, that gave us an excuse to bring you onto the podcast and talk about Method Muse. So, yeah.
Well, I mean,
what do you have?
I have a distillery. I'm part of the co-founding team for a new distillery. We're a very different distillery compared to most traditional distilleries. So we're a group of engineers, scientists, professors, and we decided to just open a distillery and make gin and different types of botanical spirits the way we wanted to, very non-traditionally. We take very global approaches to all of the offerings that we craft. We also do a lot of custom spirits as well. You know, so hey, Metro State, we can make your anniversary spirit. That'd be great. But yeah, we focus on taking experiences and global flavors and memories that people have and just condensing them and putting them into a bottle, right? So as an example, we have a Japanese sipping gin, our izakaya gin. You know, for me, it's very near and dear to my heart. It takes a lot of the flavors, the smells, the experiences that I had, you know, fishing and visiting in Hokkaido, and we put it into a bottle, and it's great. You know, it features a lot of red shiso, Makrut lime leaf, and Persian black limes. It's delicious. All of our spirits, even our Amari, are all built that way. So, for example, the Thai style Amaro is built on Thai green curry spices. The Caribbean style Amaro is based on Jamaican jerk spices. So, yeah. And speaking of tomato soup, the Caribbean style Amaro probably is going to be really good as a float over that.
Yeah, we should try them all.
Yeah.
Maybe not all, not in the tomato soup. I don't know how the Thai Amaro would jive, but
I bet it would be good. One way to find out.
There.
Just plow a bunch of Amaro and tomato soup in our faces.
We got to experiment. That's what we do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're cooking, we're playing, we're getting creative. We're taking a thing we all know, gin or soup, and we're getting it better. We're elevating, we're playing with it globally, period.
So Ethan, I got a question for you. So,
all right.
You talk about each flavor, like designing it around a memory.
Sure.
Like, what is that process though? Like, when you choose a memory, and then what? Like, then where do you go from there? How do you start selecting the different flavor components? How do you make sure it's balanced?
Yeah. So I guess you could say, you know, when we talk about flavor and experiences and spirits. For us at the distillery, myself in particular, we like to discuss things from an approach that we would refer to as like a flavor stack or an aroma stack. And so you engineer the stack around what you're trying to express. It's a lot like food. So for example, when you make that tomato soup, the base flavor of that, the thing that you are trying to work around or through or help elevate is going to be that tomato. Depending on the type of tomato soup, if you put cream in there, right, there's a lot of fat, there's a lot of umami that goes in there. That becomes the base of your stack or the structure. From there, you just start layering things on top of that. Let's talk about, for example, the Persepolis gin. It's built around a lot of Persian spices, stuff you would find on the North Silk Road. And yeah, we take a standard gin, juniper, coriander, orris root, and that becomes the backbone. The base of that flavor stack then is going to be stuff that's very foundational. Black lime, for example, is a very umami forward, very deep citrus flavor. To work around that, you can add things that are a little bit lighter, a little bit more ephemeral or sharp. So ginger or a black cardamom, things like that. And you build the flavor stack that way, Jimmy. So you are able then to have a structure that is foundationally supported by something that is very key. And as far as a memory goes, for example, like with the izakaya gin, shiso is such a huge component in the food and the cuisine of Japan. That becomes that base note. It's very unctuous, very herbal, very refreshing. It's a very fresh type of herb. And then you build around that. So in that case, the macroot lime leaf and the black lime as well. And that way you are constantly experiencing one base flavor, all of that stuff in the mid palate, top note, or at the end of the palate, something that sits and resides there at the end. And that kind of a structure is how, just like when you build stuff as far as cuisine goes, that basically becomes the same type of approach and structure that you would want when you build a spirit or when you build a cocktail, right? When you build a cocktail, you have a marquee spirit or set of flavors that you want to build on. Martinis feature gin. You want to add things that elevate that, right? So like an aromatized wine, a vermouth, you add subtle elements that help to elevate the experience as opposed to overwhelm the actual spirit itself. Does that make sense, Jimmy?
Yes, it does.
What happened, Jimmy? What happened to your voice? All right, well, we've just been given some tomato soup, which obviously means we have to prove what we're talking about.
So why does gin work with tomato soup?
So when you look at tomato soup as a whole, you have something that's fairly acidic. Tomato is actually fairly acidic. In this particular case, it looks like you guys added a bunch of cream that helps to even out the acidity of the tomato. For example, when you think about canned tomatoes, there's that metallic tang that comes from there. That's a consequence of some of the acidity of the tomato. So in this particular case, gin is very light. It adds a lot of more ephemeral, lighter, floral, botanical notes on top of something as a soup that typically is going to be perceived as a deeper flavor, something that's a lot more nourishing. Tomato soup is something that you got as a kid to kind of stick to your bones, right? You paired it with a grilled cheese. So gin works to elevate that experience by adding to the upper end, right, of that flavor stack or that flavor structure. What we're doing here, adding in our Caribbean style Amaro. The Caribbean style Amaro is based on Jamaican jerk spices. It adds a little bit of richness to the middle of it. It'll layer on top of the tomato. And then obviously there's habanero chili peppers in here. Who doesn't like that in tomato soup?
The interesting thing is when you added it, I feel like it brought out like a sweet aroma from the soup. So
Absolutely.
I wonder if it's actually going to accentuate some of the sweetness from the tomatoes. It's
Totally
only one
should.
way to find out. But yeah, shall we?
Well, get after it.
Yeah, no, here.
While
know.
you're tasting this,
Do we
right.
stir it?
We can stir it,
Okay.
sure. We just had the float on there. Not anymore. It's in there.
what other soups would pair with gin?
Holy shit, that's good.
Period.
All right, I'm going to let you finish that. Otherwise, I'm just going to bathe myself in it.
I feel like it could use more. Is that weird?
Are you a drunk?
No,
No judgment.
I'm not.
We're playing with our food. We're getting creative.
All righty.
Okay.
You tell me.
Let her cook.
Let her cook.
Okay, it might have been too much.
It's okay.
We'll go with it.
Experiment.
We'll go
That's
with
you.
it. As far as soups, I mean,
Tell me.
gin is fairly light. I would recommend pairing it with something that is going to be a little bit deeper in flavor, stuff that has a lot more umami in it. So you could pair it, like with a tomato soup, you could go with like a Manhattan style clam chowder. That would probably work out really, really well. I probably wouldn't go too heavy into something that has a lot of cream in it. But otherwise, anything that has a lot of very savory flavor in it and stuff that's going to benefit from having lighter spicing or a lighter floral botanical element to it, so that when you experience it, right, the first thing you're going to get hit with is that aroma, and then you can have that flavor on the palate.
Also,
all
I
about
changed
the
my mind and
experience.
it is better. I just had it like the first bite, I was like, whoa. The second, third bite was like, yeah.
We're
So,
experimenting.
Yeah. You guys should try it over there. Come on over.
All right. Well,
I feel like we should try one with gin though too, because that's why we're here,
We can.
right?
I would probably say that as far as the tomato soup goes, Persian spices will probably complement that really well.
Okay.
A little bit of cinnamon, the black cardamom. We also have ginger in
Giving
there as
fall.
well. Probably going to work out pretty well.
Oh my god.
I did not put that much spirit in the last one.
Can't bring me anywhere.
all right. So let's try it with
Fresh.
the gin.
Okay.
Let's try it. Let them cook
Alrighty,
and let
we'll
them
give it
eat.
just a splash.
Yeah,
There you go.
that feels right.
You can go ahead and mix that in there.
Okay.
I can smell it already. It does smell great.
Oh, that's so good.
Yep.
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 Everybody
the
like
review. we go
should be doing
spoonful?
this.
Yeah, I really like how the gin is right up front
Mhm.
and then also at the end.
Yeah.
Especially a lot of the heavier Persian spices like the black lime really help to accentuate the preserved lime from the soup
Absolutely.
alone.
Yeah, the aftertaste from the gin kind of just lingers for a little bit. It's quite
Now I really want grilled cheese.
nice. Yeah. Jimmy,
All right.
come on.
Do you guys do a double grilled cheese?
Is that a double stacker?
No. Oh, you've never heard of the double grill.
Jimmy.
All right. Well, thank you, Ethan, for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Everybody, get up to Method Muse tasting room in
Bussin'.
Old Town. It is so good.
Old
All the
Town,
cocktails are
Nevada.
delicious. Shout out to Ari for running that situation
Oh
up
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
We did poach one of the students from Metro to be our GM.
Oh, Ari's the
Oh,
best.
she's still here
She's
with
the
us.
best.
So, but yeah, and to our viewers, oop, that's a mic. To our viewers, thanks for joining us, and joining us on this journey as we start our journey into the podcast world again. And I look forward to future episodes. We'll keep the same format of doing some food, some beverage, just kind of exploring the world of cooking, flavors, the hospitality industry, a little humor, and we'll
Keep
just have
cooking.
fun with it. So let them cook.
Let them cook. You be cooking, we be cooking. Bye.
Let them cook.
Let them cook.
Let them cook.
It's drinking time. Cheers, everyone.
Tomato soup.